Hello everyone, I'm Swain Knightley, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. In the background you'll see gameplay and trailer footage, as well as screenshots released in dev diary updates. So as you'll be seeing here, there has been a significant overhaul to the way siege mechanics work. Functional catapults and battering rams have been implemented. So this means sieges will now actually be more involved, rather than simply trying to climb up ladders. Or actually more like stroll up ladders the way it worked in the original Mount & Blade. And also, as you can see in this gameplay footage, the game looks much better. And climbing ladders is much more like climbing ladders rather than strolling up a ramp. Another interesting thing to note is that all of the siege weapons are placed freely by the player, giving you the option to choose how you want to assault the castle. The individual combat gameplay doesn't seem to be much changed from the original, except for some better animations. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing, as the combat in the original was very enjoyable. One thing that has changed significantly is the inventory and character management screen. The screen is now much clearer and simpler to understand and use. But by far the best feature is the ability to toggle which character you're looking at the top of the screen, making it much easier to trade inventory items with companions, instead of having to go into dialogue and chat with them each time. And here you'll see a screenshot of the new party management screen. As you can see, it looks like the old one with just a few minor adjustments. For one, it looks like you can expand or contract different sections, such as prisoners or troops. Although one interesting thing you can see is that there is now an accompanying category as well as troops and prisoners. You're now looking at a screenshot of the new bartering system in Mount & Blade 2. The right side of the screen shows the things the player can offer, and the left side shows what the NPC can offer. The bar in the middle is the satisfaction meter, which shows how willing the NPC is to accept the deal. According to the dev diary, satisfaction is not only limited to how much is being offered, but is also affected by things such as the player's skills and their relations with the NPC. According to the devs, this same screen will be used for all kinds of negotiation. For example, ransoming back an NPC, or bartering with enemies for things such as peace deals. The same screen would also be used for the king to barter with his nobles, to either grant them titles or lands. Looks like the scenery and environment have been much improved, as you can see here with the player character walking through town. Another new feature is the introduction of minigames, as you can see here with the introduction of a board game. According to the devs, each of the game's 6 cultures will have their own board game. Each will be an originally designed game inspired by real historical games. I'm not super interested in the introduction of the board games, but apparently they are optional games that you can do at a tavern to bet for money. One addition that does look enjoyable, though, is crafting. You now have the ability to customize the blade, guard, handle, and pommel of your weapon. These changes will then make your weapon more expensive or cheaper, as well as modifying the weapon's various stats, such as its length, balance, swing speed and damage, as well as thrust speed and damage. In addition, you can also give your weapon a custom name. Additionally, there has been significant changes made to village management. There is now no longer a distinction between castles and villages in the game. Instead, there are a number of different building types that you can do, so that you can now actually build castles for your village, in addition to other structures such as farms and mines. Villages have a limited number of slots available to them. As a result, you might have to choose between making your village more defensible by building a castle, or building something more valuable, such as a salt mine. Also, unlike the original Mount & Blade, AI will actually upgrade their settlements as well. There have also been a number of changes to the management of villages. You now have sliders to change the tax rate, as well as changing how much effort goes into training the militia and working on the current construction project. Depending on how you set the sliders, the population will gain or lose morale. Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord is set in the same setting as Warband, but it takes place 200 years earlier. The map has been expanded for the east and south, resulting in a map that is about 3 times larger than the original map. According to the devs, although lore was kept to a minimum in Warband, in Bannerlord, the game is going to feature its own story and add additional depth to different factions. The terrain on the map has been changed a bit from Warband. Bannerlord is more mountainous, and has other terrain features that result in more choke points than the original Warband. This will cause the game to be more tactical, with AI fighting over key choke points and strategic interests. We can only hope that the battle maps for mountainous regions have been improved. Another change on the world map is that you can now see when seasons change, as you will see here as snow is added and then slowly melts away. In addition to the visual effect, there's going to be a gameplay effect of this, as trying to wage war in the middle of winter, troops will suffer greater losses to morale and they'll be demanding more food and fuel. On the map, villages produce goods based on what type of production buildings they have. Peasants will then take those goods from the village to the city. Workshops in the city convert raw materials into finished goods, and caravans travel between cities selling the goods. This trade increases the prosperity of the settlements. However, since the supply chain can be interrupted at any point, either by players or AI, there is a lot of room to manipulate the economy of the game, not to mention the back and forth as nations take over and retake different villages and cities. In summary, Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord is looking like a significant step up over Warband. If you enjoyed the original game, there's certainly a lot to look forward to in the new one. This is about all the information that is available up to this point. As more information is released in Dev Diaries, I'll probably be creating a second video with updates. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please consider liking the video or subscribing. Either way, I appreciate you spending your time with me. Thanks for watching.